Hey everyone, we are going to be working on this card again. I'm not really working on the card so much as testing yet another putty. So last night I put on Zezzio ZT-PY6 and some tests on it. Did ETC hash, kapow, and Furmark. They performed fairly well. And those results will be posted in a link in the About page of my channel. And I'll just keep updating that every time I do a new putty. So you can get a close up here. Nice, good looking stalactites and stalactites and stalagmites. That's what you want to see with a putty, in my opinion. But clay lake is also good too. Go back to the overview here. Okay, so just gonna scrape this stuff off, and we'll be using the Zezzio scraper. And we're gonna save this stuff. Very I don't know, the lighting's not great for telling the color for you guys. Let's see if we can change it here. I'm just gonna make it a little less intense. Yeah. It's really bright pink, like flamingo pink. A lot of these pink putties might look similar on stream, but I'm going to take a close-up picture side by side with them, and you guys will get a better idea what they look like. Because for me, they're very different witnessing them in person. So, okay, let's salvage most of it. I'm just going to turn this around carefully. And we're just going to adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. Maybe a touch more. Hey Tan, how's it going? Thanks for joining the stream. How's your day going? Hopefully good. Yeah, actually I still do. I never really stopped. I just changed algorithms once Ethereum did the move to proof of stake back in September last year. I guess it's been a year and 2 weeks. So I think it was September 14th that happened. And I moved around a bunch of different coins, but I mined some ASPA, which paid off really well. Also mined some Dynex when that came out. It's an interesting project where they basically use the compute power of video cards. Mostly double point precision stuff, so FP64, which turns out Radeon 7s are very good at. So recently I actually picked up 5 Radeon 7s on the used market off eBay and locally, and paid maybe, oh, I don't know, probably averaged out around 350 Canadian per card. And they're all running. None of them have code 43 yet, so hopefully they work for a while. But currently they're my most profitable video cards. Not that they make too much, but they're making like a few cents a day. Maybe it's like 15-20 cents per card, something like that. Yeah, I was watching that price increase last night, and my gut reaction, I think I saw it at like 73 cents, and I was like, if I had a bunch of crypto, not in other projects, tied up, I would have put in $400 or $500 and just let it ride up to this 80 cents that's at now. It could go higher too, especially if all the stuff they're posting about is true. For those of you guys that don't mind though, don't go spending your life savings and buying coins on anything that I say. Mining is, gotta be cautious. Definitely want to research stuff quite a bit before getting involved. And yeah, not everyone wants to either. That's okay too. Excuse me. You just bought 24 BC 160 XFX. That is nuts. Oh. And Instinct I50s still sitting on 5,000 Onyx, only sold 500 tonight. Nice. Adam Hossein. Hopefully I didn't mess up the pronunciation the second time there. Hossein, I think. Have you ever used liquid metal on your GPU? Not yet. I will be. I'm going to be testing that out. Right now I'm going to try and get through as many of these thermal putties as I can, which I've got quite a few to test. This will be another several days, I would say, testing out all the putties. And then I'll move to pastes on the GPU I could also do it on the CPU, but you guys want to see it on the GPU, I think. So I'll do that, and I'll probably pick one of my Upsiren thermal pads for all of those tests. That way the VRAM interface doesn't keep changing and I don't have to reshape putty each time. Go through all the pastes, including Kingpin KPX. We got Arctic MX4, MX6, NHT1 Noctua stuff. I might have some Arctic Silver 5, which does conduct electricity, so I'll be formal coating the card, doing the liquid metal. And what else? We got Upsiren's UTG1, and then I'll work back into doing the PCMs after the liquid metal stuff from Upsiren, including the Conductonaut from Thermal Grizzly. We got Cryo Sheet, Cryonaut, well, Conductonaut, the liquid metal. I don't think what else I've got. Oh, I've also got a few here. Okay, so we got, that's GD460. Let's see if I can get some of these to sit nicely. Just gonna stock them up there. GD460. Also got some GD100. Let's move to the close-up cam here. So that's GD100, GD460, and I think I've got a third one here somewhere. I need to find a better way of organizing these on a shelf. I think half the battle is I have way too many things to test out now. I can't find it right now. I think it's GD900. So I'll be testing out all those when I do the get to the pastes. Back to overview. Let's finish cleaning this bad boy. We're sitting on 5, yeah, 88 each. Oh, for those EC160s. That seems good. Radeon B7s and Radeon Instinct M5 is the hash rate same? That's nuts. Is that around the like 8.6 to 10 kilohash range? What are the watts on those MI50s? I'm looking to getting a few of those. Probably going to sell a few 3080s. Nothing wrong with them, they're just not the most efficient at anything. Even during the Ethereum mining days, they weren't most efficient, but they were the best bang for buck hash rate wise if you could line up at Best Buy, which I did a couple times. But those were some long nights. Sitting there for like, what, 14, 15 hours? Got pretty cold a couple of those nights. So I'm just doing what I normally do here with the TGP10. I'm just gonna spruce it up a little bit. That way when the card gets reassembled, it'll recompress and make good contact again. 105 watts? Are you kidding me? That is nuts. No fans. I've got a bunch of those AC97 fans. And I think I've got a buddy with a 3D printer. I could probably print some shrouds. I bought a Tesla K80 a while ago, thinking it was just going to be a really cool card for something, but it's too old, so it doesn't work on Dynex. If you could use that for Vast AI, not. Yeah, for $100, that's where the money is at right now. Those things are crazy good. They're only burning 5 watts. That's nuts. Okay, I think we're just about cleaned up here. Now I know why I'm hungry. I forgot to eat breakfast today. And lunch, that's not good. I'll have to go get something after the stream. It took me much longer to do this, so. Okay, so that is pretty clean. Yeah, that's a good bulk price. Including delivery. And which site are you getting those from? That'd be a crazy good deal. I'm just going to set this aside for a moment so you guys can see the scale. See if that's visible or not. Alright, so we're going to crack open this OC-P10. And I crack open because it is actually sealed eBay, but from China. Right on. But before we load up a syringe, we're also going to... Sorry, I'll do this first. Just because we gotta test stuff out. Card is this? This is my test bench card, the Zotac 3070 Ti Amp Hollow Edition. Oh man, let's see if this is gonna work or not. Okay, this is you guys. Well, that image quality is not giving it justice here. No, it's still, it's like hyper pink, just like the Zezzio. It feels kind of similar too. I don't know if they're the same or not, but. Oh, I'm blocking the video, that's not good. Oh, sorry guys. I gotta figure out a way to do this. Well. No. Does not conduct electricity. Guess we'll know for sure. Once we put it on the card and start it up and see if anything goes poof. Let's see. So, Magyar, did I pronounce that right? You ordered CX H1300. Really good. I have now low temps going 5600. Yeah, I tested that one out 2 days ago. That's in the chart, and it did perform fairly well. I'm basically retesting everything with this new test bench setup where I'm monitoring ambient temperatures, actually logging them in HW info, and then I'm analyzing an entire hour during the testing. So I let it warm up for an hour and then take all the data from hour number 2. So Tan is asking, is this OC-P10 any good? I have no idea. I have never applied this stuff yet, but we are going to find out today. Well, I'll find out, and then I'll post links, and you guys will find out tonight or tomorrow, but we'll see how it does. Okay, so this stuff is quite sticky, which is nothing wrong with that for a putty. It's just going to make it interesting to load to a syringe. My only criticism about the packaging is that the container being this large and tall makes it hard to scoop out. Otherwise, I like the fact that it was sealed like that. Okay, this actually feels stickier than the Zezzio, so maybe they are different. The Zezzio, just so you guys know, did not perform as well as the CX H1300, but it definitely beat the TGP10. And I'll be testing out the Upsiren stuff as well pretty soon, or retesting it on this bench, and then we'll have data to compare to. So I'm saying it's now 32 Celsius in Brazil, and my temps are in the range of 28 to 36 idle. For your core temps, it's really can't tell you, but several have the same pink color. Yeah, there's a lot of pink buddies that have popped up in the last, I'd say, year. I know there's more in there just a little bit, but that's good enough for now. I've got enough that I can measure before or weigh it in before and after. Okay, so we are going to get this right up to the front. I'm just going to cut the nozzle. That'll work. Okay, so I just cut the nozzle shorter. That'll measure approximately 6 millimeters. You know what? Let's measure it right now. Get my methodologies out. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's basically 6 mil. Yeah, so when I first started using TGP10, I was using a syringe, and then I was having a hard time because the first batch of TGP10 that I bought was quite old. It had been sitting on the shelf, so it was, they had like only a few months of life left. And then just was hard to apply, so I moved to a piping bag when I bought a fresh kg, and that worked awesome. But I think for smaller quantities, it doesn't make sense to try and squeeze this much into a piping bag and have nothing to like hold in your hand at all. So, all right, so 78 grams. There's easily 2 grams on the, we're pretty close to it. Let's see, yeah, there's like a little bit there and on the spreader. So 78, remember that. All right, let's catch up on the comments here. If I ever tested K5 Pro, I don't think I ever saw it in your test result chart. I tested it on a hot plate and it didn't do well there, but I am going to be retesting it on this card. I just knew that I couldn't justify testing it before getting some of these putties out of the way, which I've had sitting on a shelf for a little while. So yeah, thanks Taylor Sharp. How's it going, man? Yeah, it was not good on the hot plate. I was not impressed. Stan says my TGP10 finished, so I am looking around for new putties. Yeah, man, there are a lot of putties out there, and I've had some, I don't know, personally I've had some extremely good luck buying some stuff from AliExpress, and surprisingly fast shipping, which I wasn't expecting, but there it is. There is my MX4 thermal paste. So I just put the card on top of it. Oh boy, just a second, guys. Wow. I don't know how that happened, but I was I was like sitting on it or something, or maybe it just fell down. It was... Yeah, I would agree with that. Oh, crap. It's gonna be on my arm. Okay. Definitely need to figure out a better desk setup for do this stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna try doing a close-up here while I apply. Oh, sorry guys. Opening stuff. Let's see, is that gonna look good? Yeah. Yeah, U6 Pro is extremely good bang for buck. But there are 2 entities claiming that they are the original manufacturer. We've got Upsiren folks from AliExpress, and we've got Computer Systems GR. which the website of Computer Systems GR was on the packaging of the AliExpress putty from last fall. And now, about almost a month ago, Computer Systems GR updated their website. It looks modern and quite nice website. And now they're claiming that they've been making it the whole time, and that you can buy it directly from them. And the CSGR U6 is also listed on Amazon. I'm trying to think where else might be that. And a few people have bought it, and I bought some, and I'm waiting for it to arrive, and I'll be testing it. But early indications, at least from stuff that people have sent me, is that it's a different color and consistency than the AliExpress U6 Pro that I tested. So once I have both and I can test both, then I'll just be completely honest on how it is, and we'll go from there and see which one is the real one and which one's not. Okay, if I missed anything. P10 reshaped, paste on the core, buddy. But this stuff's sticky enough I don't have to tap it down. It's definitely stickier than the Zezzio was, even though they're the same color. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back to view here. Yeah, I should do more AMD testing, but the NVIDIA cards have GDDR6X, and as far as I understand, it's running hotter than GDDR6. That being said, AMD does put temperature sensors on their GDDR6 cards, so maybe I'll test a Radeon 7. I'll look and see. Maybe I'll do a 6800 or a 6600. 20 degrees diff between hotspot and edge temp, which is why I'm interested in liquid metal. You know, you might be interested in, Adam, you might be interested in PTM, or phase change material, for the GPU die. Hey, what's up, Lemon Master Gaming? How's it going? And I've also got Legul. Legul? Am I pronouncing that right? Nice to see you online as well. Gonna buy UX Pro from your video. Right on. Yeah, right now the only source that I know that has UX Pro listed is, well, there's a number of stores on AliExpress you can get it from. But again, Computer Systems GR is claiming that. Sorry guys, I need to just tilt it so I can get a look at the card here. I think I got that in position okay. Yeah. Yep, it's gonna work. Okay, just gonna move this back a little bit. Not a screwdriver. Got. If I tested PTM 7958. No, I really need to get on that. I only have I have the paste form of the 58 version, and that is supposed to be the higher performing. I wish we had access to sheet material of that stuff, because sheet material is just so much easier to apply. I don't use it for while I'm testing the putties out, because we need to be consistent with the paste on the die, and I can't afford to burn up PTM and then let it burn in for what, 2 weeks for each test. So that's the one drawback of phase change material. It's kind of expensive, and you don't want to use it on a card like this. Ripping it apart fairly often every time I do a test. PTM is good for AMD cards especially. Yeah, I mean, PTM is 7958 specifically is what Lenovo uses in their gaming laptops. And yeah, there's people that have been repasting on the forums even. There's a guy that I saw today that was tracking people's like paste failures. So every time someone tries a different paste and then runs into like bad results, and then they have to like go and buy either of the pastes and then reapply that for the PTMs. So Lagould, yeah, I read about your computer systems GR in your comments on Reddit. Don't know what to think about it, but since you tested AliExpress Units Pro, yeah, that's my current gut reaction and instinct. And maybe I'm wrong. It's, you know, it's plausible that computer systems GR was the manufacturer all along. My instinct is telling me that that's not the case, based on a few posts and pictures that people have sent me of stuff that was sent to them. There's one user on the Legion Discord that received some UX Pro, which is not currently listed on the CSGR store. And the picture they sent me it's not at all the same consistency of the stuff that I tested. The stuff that I tested looked nearly identical to Pentium TH949-1. It's very clay-like. It's not liquidy looking at all. And the UX Pro that CSGR sent this person, it looks like K5 Pro, where they added a bunch of, well, I assume aluminum oxide. So yeah, it's been some interesting emails back and forth, but I did get the MSDS for K5 Pro and for U6 Pro from CSGR today, about an hour ago. So we're gonna go through that once I have both, once I get the U6 Pro in hand from CSGR and we take a look at it and test it out. I don't know, they've got market penetration because they've got access to Amazon through their Amazon store. It's not something that Upsiren currently, the AliExpress version has. So the AliExpress manufacturer claims that it was an error on the packaging. That might be hard to believe, and so I don't know whether I trust what they're saying either. But there is just a slight language barrier there, even if you browse the Middle 99 store, just the way they've got things laid out. I should probably mention that to them, but it could, there's room for improvement on how things are organized on the website. So I'm just gonna wipe the PCI Express connector here. So Evan Bunch says RX 7000 report memory junction temperature hotspot temps now. Interesting. Reports memory junction temps now only. So doesn't have a separate temperature for core and memory? Or maybe I'm misunderstanding that. Cool, I got a Legion 5i Pro 2022, gonna go with Upsiren PCM1 and UX Pro. Yeah, so the PCM1, for my testing, it seemed to have matched performance. That was before I upgraded my test bench. I am going to be retesting that now that we're actually properly logging ambient temperatures. So I don't want to say that my previous test is like fully conclusive. Things could change a little bit, but it seemed pretty good. Let's see what else you guys got that you may need to cure the PTM since it's not. Yes. My understanding of the liquid form of PTM 7958 is that it has solvents in it that need to evaporate. And someone was asking me where I read that, and I couldn't find the source of that information. But that's what I remember being said, as well as that. And so that's what I did with my first PTM 7950. I bought the paste version before the sheet version was available, and yeah, it was actually really hard to spread, and I didn't actually. I still have a bit. I'll test that as well, but so yeah, I think I applied it and then I left it for 24 hours and then burn in. I didn't log any of that. That was on just a test CPU that I wanted to try it out before I did a proper test. So yeah, you guys that's awesome. Thanks, Taylor, for answering that question before I got to it. A 15-hour room temperature at 0.25 millimeters. Nice. Okay, so yeah, let's see if you guys can, I don't know if you want to close up here. So this is excess putty. Normally, I would keep that off, but I'm going to leave that because that's not it's like an ideal amount of overspread. So yeah, everything looks good. I don't see any gaps. Nice. Be a bit careful with the UX or laptops not to apply more than this, or yeah, that's true. Yeah, with the clay-like putties, you don't want to put too much. It is just slightly harder to compress than the stickier putties like the U6 Pro. It's surprising that they have very similar densities. I believe they're both 3.5 grams per cc. Okay, so before we had 78 grams. And now we have 65, so 13, just like the Zezzio we applied. So yeah, they're gonna all be similar. Yeah, they really need to add the sheet version of PTM 7958. All right, guys. That's all I had planned for this stream, is just doing the putty application live, partially for posterity, and so that people can see my method. And then I'll put this on the test bench and probably get some data up tonight. Let's see if I can find a link for you guys. Just a second here. Got in the about section. Okay, so I'm gonna post a link to the current chart. And I'll be updating this. This link probably won't work as soon as I make or update. I have to remake the link and re-upload it each time. So if you want to find this sheet or chart in the future, you can go to my YouTube channel, and in the About section at the very bottom, there's links there, and you guys can click on that and just kind of follow along. I'll update that before I make a actual dedicated video of stuff. So it's the fastest way to get information. So yeah, thanks guys for coming out. Grant Hampson, thanks for joining us a little bit late. You have a second Tough 4090, but UX Pro Putty, and I have the copper plate shim, but it's about 1.1. You know what? That's ideal. That's perfect. 1.1. That's going to give you approximately 0.7. So you're going to have 0.35 millimeter of putty on either side, and you won't have any compression issues. And it's going to, I think that's going to perform really well for you. So yeah, what do you think of the best thickness for copper shim? As I feel the memory thermal pads seem a little too thick. So on the cards where I applied shims, they had gaps of 1.8 millimeters, and got some diamond. Sorry, I'm just trying to find. Got a package of shim material here. This stuff's actually synthetic diamond powder, 25 carats. So I got 5 grams of 0.5 micron, or 0 to 0.5 micron. So I might be able to, I don't know, add this to a lower performing putty that has like a fairly low viscosity, and then have like a pretty high performing putty in the end. So when I make my own shims, I was using, I believe it was what, 16 gauge copper. It was 1.6 millimeters in diameter, and I've got a video of how I've been making them, although I haven't made any recently. But yeah, I was just like sawing strips. These are really rough. I need to hone these on a stone. I think I've got one that's honed. Yeah, that one's been smooth. I could cut it to length. But yeah, it's 1.6. So for a gap, that's 1.8 millimeters. There was 0.1 meters of putty on either side, which is basically the thinnest that thermal putties can. Well, that's their minimum bond line thickness. So after that, you can't guarantee that you're going to have, like, it might start spreading apart in a granular way, like cracked sand. So I'd say the best thickness would be anywhere from 1 to 1.5 millimeters. Going much thicker than that, you're just taking chances with contact issue and pressure. Nicola Susanna, hey, I just want to say thank you. I saw your video of UX Pro Ultra and 7950. Did repay some ASUS stuff. F15 and temperature drop 15 Celsius. I had MX6 and K5 Pro and was throttling. Yeah. Awesome, man. I'm really glad that worked out. And Grant Hampson got one that's pre-cut for 3090, fits 49 perfectly. Yeah, I've actually got a bunch of pre-cut copper plates that Middle 99 shipped me. I guess they're selling copper shims. So I've got it for like 8 or 9 different video cards, and I own a few of them. So what is the best for metal shims application, thermal paste or putty? I prefer putty. It's not going to bake and dry like the pastes will. It's gonna not shrink. As a paste dries, it's shrinking. It's like letting off. It's like fluid. And putties have just been holding up a lot better for shim applications. So yeah, I'd recommend putty, but I am gonna test paste. We'll get to that once I get to testing different shims combinations, and we'll see what's best now, that's not a long-term test. I'd be worried personally about using paste with shims long-term. I think putty is well suited for it. It's on my 3090 right now that I game and we're streaming on, so, and it's been on there for, well, at least a year and a half. And I recently did some mining tests on it just to see if the temperatures held up, and they had. So, you know, can a paste last a year and a half on shims, or does it need to be replaced? And if you're going to use a phase change material on the die, don't you want to use something that lasts for a very long time? So we're going to test that out and see how they compare. But yeah, I'm going to end this stream now. Thanks for checking out the stream, guys. Hopefully the music wasn't too loud, and hopefully you guys found it useful, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.